Frank, reflections on today, mate?
I'm disappointed to lose my first game back. Thought we lacked a bit of aggression in our game. And we come to a team that are fighting. You know, they were fighting hard today. They're near the bottom of the table. They want the points, as everybody does. And I wanted more from us. I said that at half-time to the lads. It's the baseline in the Premier League. And I think they upped it a bit in terms of urgency in the second half and these things. You have to match their urgency. There's something for me to see there in those terms. Players are good lads there. They want to win games. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you have to understand what are the baselines to win matches. And today we didn't quite make that.
You mentioned before the game about, you know the squad, you know a lot of the players, you've seen a lot, you know the quality of what's within the dressing room. Is today another opportunity for you to see that firsthand before obviously a massive game midweek?
Yeah, I need to see the players, and sense the group. Because, I view it from the outside. Everyone knows how I would always be watching Chelsea, but when you get into Cobham and get into match day, then you see the match day side of the play. And so we've had a couple of days, we've seen a lot, learnt a lot in a short time, but there's a lot to do. There's a lot of work to do, and there's also a huge Champions League quarter-final coming up, and this will not have a major relevance in terms of we'll review, we want to be better and learn some things from today. It's a completely different game on Wednesday, and it will be another game on Brighton. So I want to help this club move on in the league in this period. I want to help us try and beat a fantastic team in Madrid. We cannot be too low after this. We just have to take some of the things that we can improve on and improve on them quickly.
As a player, you've been in countless massive games. As a manager, you've been in massive games as well. How does that change in terms of the preparation as a player and a manager? How do you prepare for it?
It's just a beautiful thing because it just lifts you up even more. I've had those prep of travelling, playing in huge stadiums in Champions League, Cup finals, blah, 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 managing in them. And they take you to another place. So the players have to be ready for that and use it as a big positive and get excited by it and be really focused. And I certainly will be.
Chelsea, obviously a massive family. Fan base today give you a massive reception as expected. How nice is it to hear them singing your name again? Yeah,
it was brilliant. I mean, listen, it's my club. What happened in my career here and coaching here, managing here before, coming back again, it's a special thing for me, and to hear them and see them was great. I'm disappointed I couldn't give them the result that they wanted to take home. I hope they understand that the work that's going to go in from my part, from the staff and the players. Some players have come in this year. And you have to give them a better time to settle, but they also have to understand what playing for Chelsea is and what it means and what wearing the badge means, and you have to react to that. So our fans are always brilliant, and I can guarantee that the period I'm here for, I'm going to work on the players and try and develop, get us to where we want to be by the end of the season.
That sort of highlight how big a task this is for the next 2 months.
I think it's a big task. You're managing Chelsea Football Club. We know we're not in a position we want to be in, but there's always a reason for it. In reality of the league season, so I was aware of that, and I didn't expect to solve everything in one day. So at the same time, maybe a bit of it. I think it was a performance that, if I really analyse it and you want to win a Premier League game, I think you have to have more aggression in your game, more speed, more competitive duels that go your way rather than the opposition. That baseline of stuff is with a team that are fighting for their Premier League lives as such will always dictate the turning of the result of the game, regardless of the talent maybe on each side. So I think there was a little bit of that today. The players need to be aware of that, because without that you can't win games and you can't be the team that maybe Chelsea have been at different times and we want to get back to. So it was interesting to see in many ways, and I'm here to help with that. This is not stinging criticism. This is like, okay, what are the reasons why we maybe can be like that at times? Find that, and I know there's a lot of talent there in the squad. I've seen that in the last couple of days. I'm looking forward to working more with it.
How did it feel, Frank, today, getting the team ready? Did it feel surreal, or did it just feel as though you'd not really been away?
Somewhere in the middle, because 4 or 5 days ago, I was planning different stuff. You know what I mean? So that part of it's surreal. Being Chelsea manager doesn't feel too different to me, and I'm not taking it lightly like that. I just say this has been my club for a long time, so I really appreciate being back. I love being at Cobham. I love representing the club. But the practical side is what matters to me, and that's seeing the players, training with the players. Some players I haven't been able to have much conversation with at all yet because of the time constraint, and that's important for me. So No, I'm very happy to be back. I'm disappointed I couldn't give the fans a win on my first game back. But we go again. You know, we've got a huge game waiting for us on Wednesday where everything changes. It's the Champions League, the build-up, the feeling. I'm very excited about that.
Two things. First of all, I've been asking everyone this since January. Can you just give us a rundown on the people who weren't in the squad? Kante, Bettinelli, Mount, Ziyech, Fofana, David Fofana, Aspilicueta, Chukwuemeka, Maduka. How many of them are unfit?
Kante is a managing one, so he's fit, but we know that after his injury, the idea of game was too much. Aspi's nearly fit, training with us last 1 or 2 days. Needs a little bit of fitness, but he's better. Mason had a feeling in his pelvic area, the injury that he's been carrying the last 2 days. So he trained in those 2 days, but was struggling a bit. Bettinelli's got a small problem, no big deal. They're the injured ones.
And just on the game itself, all season it's been a problem in my eyes that when the team plays out from the back, nothing happens. There's no movement ahead. There's no perceived way of actually playing out from the back. It looks as though they need to start from scratch in terms of game planning.
That's your opinion, Spy, I suppose. But you know, yeah, my job, as I say, in this period is to work with the team to give the idea that I want and reinforce that. And of course, in 2 days, it's difficult. I was relying on the players and today a little bit and giving some messaging, which we did as much as we could. We saw some bits of it. But in terms of the lower part of the pitch, I think our players can all receive the ball and accept the ball. But if I'm agreeing with you in any part there, it's that you receive and accept the ball down low because you want to progress up the pitch, and you have to find the right solutions, and that which means the right positions and the right ideas, and that takes some work. So there'll be part of the process, and also you have to have options where you can play over or out of a press. So we have to be able to do that as well, my opinion. So hopefully it will change a bit in your opinion, Spy.
Frank, can I ask, how do you instill that aggression and bite though in just a few days, in such a short space of time? Because I think everyone here would agree you've got a collection of really talented players. That's kind of obvious, but it's not functioning at the moment, and it's Real Madrid on Wednesday. That's probably a little bit worrying for some.
You know, if you're worried, then don't come. The players won't. The players shouldn't be. It's an absolute carrot for them. And when they sign for Chelsea, every player in that squad, whether it's Mateo Kovacic, who's won 2 Champions League and played in World Cups, semis or whatever, finals, you deserve to play for Chelsea. Or if you've just arrived and you're Mudryk and you come here, you've had your pathway to get it. So you're here for a reason. But to expect everything to come together as a squad is maybe not necessarily the case. I'm not saying that this squad doesn't have the aggression and those things. It's just bringing it together, and sometimes a bit of confidence. Things can look like aggression, lack of confidence can sometimes look like aggression to the eye. But as a team, I think we were up against a team that were very aggressive today, and maybe there were some second balls and duels and things like that we weren't quite at. And I don't mind saying it because it has to be said to be a reality to be dealt with. You know what I mean? And that's something that I felt today. Wednesday will be a completely different game, but those things are always still there in some form or another. So. We've got a few days to recover, prepare, and go again.
Cheers, I've got a last one here from Liam. And then move
Hi,
on.
Liam.
How confident are you of having N'Golo ready for Madrid? And are there going to be any more additions to your backroom team? Sort of Ashley Cole, Joey Hoods, Chris Jones there today?
Yeah, I can't speak about the backroom for some reason other than what you saw. So you can write what you saw almost or whatever. But no, N'Golo will be fine. Yeah, as it stands now, as I said, there was completely managing him to be fit for the game. It's not an issue as such.